Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 338. In this episode, you're going to hear why you should doubt yourself. Yes, you heard that right. I'm going to share all the reasons why you should totally doubt yourself. Now, I know this is contrary to popular belief and even what I believed as of just like 2 months ago. So stay tuned, buckle up, because this is going to be a good episode. But before we get there, if you're loving the Ordinary to Badass podcast, I'd ask you to do one of two things. Either go on to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating and review, or just hit the 3 little buttons at the top of the podcast episode and share it with a friend. Every little share helps so that we can get other badasses just like you to listen to the show. Okay, with that, let's get into this doubt talk.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, we are talking all about doubt and why you should totally doubt yourself. It sounds contrary to popular belief, but it is so true. Doubt, it plays an important part in our lives. And I got to be honest with you, recently I was struggling with doubt. And I was just like raking myself over the coals, just doubting everything I was doing. I don't know what doing is, but doubting everything I was doing. And particularly in my business, like on social media, on my podcast, on my blog posts, on all the things you can possibly think of. I was like, are you meant for this? Are you cut out for this? And I was just in my head thinking all the thoughts and totally doubting myself. Now, the funny thing is, while I was doubting myself, I was thinking, okay, Marie, you're not confident. I thought you were so confident. I thought you were a strong woman, but here you are with all these doubts. And so like, I started to doubt myself. I started to think like, maybe you're not confident. Maybe you're not what you thought you were. Who are you? I know it sounds crazy, but I was just like going down this rabbit hole and I was doubting everything about myself, which made it hard. But this is what we do. When we're in the storms of self-doubt, then we go down this rabbit hole and it's so easy to let it take us down, right? And what I forgot is that yes, I know that you have doubt and that it comes and goes, but I also didn't think of, it's kind of like confidence. It's a muscle. You're just going to have to keep building it, right? And just because you don't feel doubt in one moment doesn't mean you're not going to feel it in the next. Or maybe you're good in one area of your life, but then in another area, doubt bubbles up. And that's completely normal. It's easy to think we're on an island of our own. I know that I do, but this idea of doubt, of self-doubt, it's like the common language of the soul, and everybody has it, regardless of your background, your upbringing, your achievements. It doesn't matter. So in that way, it's a little bit like the weather. It's ever present, constantly shifting, and it touches every corner of the globe. Everyone has self-doubt. And just as the rain falls in the mighty mountains and the humble values, the humble valleys, then self-doubt showers droplets of success or the quietest aspirations. It has these all over. It expands the globe, right? It might be for your highest aspirations. It might be for these quiet things you whisper to yourself. It's all over the place. But the one thing is you can count on, everybody will experience sunshine. Everybody will experience rain. It's just a matter of putting on the rain jacket when you're having these hard times, when you're getting in the weeds, right? And you know what? When you're getting in the weeds, sometimes you do need that rain. Rain, I'm from Washington State, so I can say this. Rain feels like it sucks. And yeah, sometimes it does, but it's also watering you, it's nourishing you, it's feeding you, it's helping you get ready for the next season. So that's something to remember. It is okay to have self doubt. It is okay to get sucked in and feel like we're in a storm once in a while. I'm really taking this analogy full force, right? But it's normal. It's what all of us do. And what I have always been taught, maybe it's something just that I thought and was not taught, but it was that you just want to be good. You just want to live in the good. You don't want those storms, or you don't want to go down those rabbit holes. But actually, there is value in those. And we'll get to that in a minute, but I just say that to let you know that you're not alone. If you're experiencing doubt, my hands raised, I'm right here with you, because I experience it all the time. And sometimes it's worse than others, but it's not a bad thing. It is actually here for our benefit. But first, just realize, okay, you're not in this alone. Everybody else experiences doubt, even if we're not vocalizing it. It's not often that I vocalize it. And it's not because I'm hiding anything, but it's just, I think it's not something we talk about in society, right? Look at the Instagram world or the social media world. It's all gumdrops and lollipops. But behind that, there is a universe full of doubt. If we're going with the weather analogy, there is a storm brewing everywhere, or different times. It's brewing behind the scenes, but we just can't see it. Okay, I'm going to read this quote because I think it's so important and it really helped change things for me. It's from the Christian theologian Paul Tillich. Doubt isn't the opposite of faith. It is an element of faith. I'm going to read that again. Doubt isn't the opposite of faith. It's an element of faith. That one, I'm going to be honest, I chat GPT'd it because I liked how it sounded, but I didn't fully comprehend it. So what chat GPT told me was this quote suggests that doubt is not contradictory to faith. Instead, it is a component or an aspect inherent in faith itself. It implies that questioning and uncertainty can coexist with a strong belief system. So important. You can have doubt, but you can also have faith. It's an element of faith. So you can be the strongest of people and still have doubt. That doesn't make you any less strong. I just got to read that quote again because I just love it so much. Doubt isn't the opposite of faith. It's an element of faith. So when you're feeling doubt, not only do we realize like, okay, this is a human emotion. Other people are feeling it too. I'm not alone. But then we're realizing, okay, it's just another element of faith. It's okay that I have this doubt. It doesn't mean that something is wrong with me. So let's get into why we need doubt, because that's why you're here, right? You probably want to be, or you're thinking, what? Why would I need doubt? What good could doubt possibly do me? Give it a month or two ago, I would have been right there with you because I was in the doubt shame spiral. But doubt, it can help us with so many different things. So doubt is important because one, it's a sign that you're pushing yourself. It might mean that you're pushing your boundaries or moving past your comfort zone. And a lot of people aren't doing that. So the fact that you're doing that and you experience doubt, that's fine. It's like, actually, let's give you a round of applause because you're doing something to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And that is a good thing. Another reason why you might be experiencing doubt is because you're trying something new. When you're trying something new, that is a good thing. And of course, you're not going to learn, of course, you're not going to know. You're just trying to learn it. So just accept, okay, I am new and I am learning this. Had a tickle in my throat there. So yeah, just accepting that you're new and you're learning something. Why is it that it's okay? We encourage kids to learn new things, and that's completely acceptable and tolerated. But then when it comes to ourselves, when it comes to being an adult learning something new, we don't like to give ourselves grace. So consider talking to yourself like you would a child. Like, it's okay, you're trying something new. You can make mistakes. Get back up, try again. You're doing a good job. Like, say these positive things to ourselves. Be a cheerleader for ourselves. Because when you're trying something new, it's not always easy. Also, when you feel doubt, it might be an indicator that it's something that's really important to you. It's something that you value, which is super cool. So it's like, oh, okay, that just means this is important to me. Like, you just take it as a note of things that you want in your life or things that are important to you, things you want more of. Maybe it's jealousy, right? You feel doubt, you feel jealous, you see all these other people around you with so much greater capabilities than you, so much more experience than you, that it's like, okay, that's just showing you something you want. What others have, that's something you might want. And it's like, okay, that's just a sign. I should keep working on this. I should keep pushing through the doubt. The doubt is just showing me that it's something that I want more of. So I think that little reframe is so helpful because, again, we're taught that push doubt away, get rid of it, put it to rest, and that just doesn't work. At least it hasn't worked for me. Instead, it makes us feel worse about ourselves, thinking, oh, I got to get rid of this thing. Why do I keep feeling this thing? I'm so bad, blah, blah, blah. So try to get rid of that. Or instead of trying to get rid of it, be at peace with it. So when we lack doubt, then we're like a stagnant pond. There's no fresh water flowing through the pond, and we're stagnant and dormant, and you get all that gunk at the bottom. I know this. I grew up, my parents have a pond. They're still in my childhood, like the house I grew up in, but it's just stagnant and dormant, and it gets gross at the bottom of that pond because there's no fresh water flowing through. So doubt, it prevents that stagnation. It is what's like the boost. It is the fresh water that comes through. Explore or encouraging us to try new things, explore new ideas. It's keeping us live and vibrant and dynamic. So embrace the doubt. Think, I want to be a waterfall, not a pond. But we want that, right? We want new, fresh water, fresh ideas coming through. So be a waterfall, not a pond. Lesson of the day. And one quote that I liked was from Pat Flynn. And he said, at the end of the day, the only surefire way to fail is to let those doubts stop me from trying. Now, Pat Flynn is a YouTuber, podcaster, author, all the things. And it's true. If you let all of the doubts stop you from taking action, that is where we get in trouble. I don't know. It's so easy to listen to those doubts and to get sucked in and believe they are true. But the real failure is when we give up, is when we quit. And there was a quote by Maya Angelou, and she talked about having written 11 books, and that time after she wrote her 11th book, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be uncovered as a fraud. Everybody is going to find me. Everybody's going to see who I really am. And it's like, that was her 11th book. She had 11 books under her belt at that point, and she was still experiencing imposter syndrome, which is feeling like a fake, feeling like a fraud, feeling like you're not enough, that kind of thing. So after 11 books, and I don't know, I would just have to assume Maya Angelou is a several times over best-selling author because she's very well known. But like, I just can't imagine. She was still feeling like a fraud so late in the game. But it's like, we always think, oh, if I do this, then I'm not going to feel like a fraud anymore. If I do this, I'm not going to have any doubts. I'm going to be so strong. I'm going to be so powerful, so cool, so this, so that. It doesn't work that way. It's just this doubt we have. It's just something we have to put in our backpack, put in our toolbox, because it's always going to be there. But it's how will we deal with it? Will we try to push it away and then as a result spiral? Or will we accept it and keep it and see what it's actually trying to tell us? Your doubt is trying to tell you something. Will you listen? I got to work on it too. Not preaching here. Again, I've done this, and it was just recently that I started figuring it out that, oh, yeah, it actually is a big thing. Everybody does experience this, and you don't have to push it away. So I say, to doubt is to be human. To listen to the doubt is a choice. To push past the doubt is badass, right? You experience this doubt and you do it anyway. That is the hard thing, to do things even when we feel this doubt. But as a badass, I know that you can do it. Now, I recently listened to a book, King, A Life, and it was about Martin Luther King Jr., and it was so stinking good. It was like, I listened to it on Audible, and it was over 20 hours, which is insane. I get ADD like with reading or listening to books. So the fact that I listened to that book straight without listening to other books tells you how good it was. It was really stinking good. But you know what stood out to me? What stood out to me was how much doubts he had. He wondered if what he was doing was the right thing. Now, this is a major civil rights leader. And not everybody, but most people admired him, or they look back and admire him now for all of the things that he has done for our country. And yet he had all of this self-doubt. He wondered if he was doing the right thing. That was just crazy to me. So it's like, oh, if he can have doubts, why can't I? If he can have doubts and push through, then I can too. And then I was like, wait, that's just like me. That's just like you. We all have our doubts. Just because you are getting all these accolades, getting awards, because you're famous, whatever the thing is, it doesn't mean that the doubts go away. It's just up to you what you do with them. You can get in your head and shut down and freak out about it. Or you can be like, oh, doubts are here. What are they trying to tell me? What are they trying to tell me about what I want? So use them to your advantage. Use them to help you instead of using them to make you feel bad. I don't know about you, but I would rather not feel bad. If there was a different way I could deal with things, if there was a different way I could cope with it, then that's probably the route I would take. But unless we have a perspective switch, or we listen to a book or follow a mentor or something like that, that tells us a different way, and we're like, oh yeah, that is possible, then we stay in our own heads. And actually, it was perfect that I was dealing with this doubt, and then I listened to this book, and it really helped me to put some things into perspective, to realize like, no, this is normal. This is human. I am not alone. And I know it could be intimidating thinking like, Martin Luther King Jr. was so well known. How could we be like him? But we are. We're human. And he still experienced the same doubts that you and I experience. So it doesn't matter what level we get to. We're always going to have these doubts. And in the next episode, I will share with you strategies that you can use, that you can implement in your everyday life to help you, strategies and resources actually, that will help you move past self-doubt or to accept the self-doubt. Like, you don't have to bury it, you don't have to put it to rest, but you can accept it and then see how it can help you in your life. Because we're going to do a deep dive into that, and I know it's going to be a game changer for you. With that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.